أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وآل الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We had started the book 250-year-old Man, which is a collection of lectures, sermons that have been given by Imam Khamenei, rahmatullah alayh, in which he talks about the Imams and the Prophet being one person, and their life is just a series of different events that made them act differently. But in the end, they had one goal of establishing an Islamic government. As Imam Khamenei himself mentions, it was the Alawi government. So they had a political role in the universe, in the world, to change the world, to make it Islamic by establishing a government. We talked about the life of the Prophet. Now we come towards the life of Imam Ali alayhi salam. Before the chapter ends about the Holy Prophet, he mentions something about Ghadir. He says that Ghadir was not a specific event for the Shias. No. Ghadir was an event to unite the Muslims together. We are talking about marjas today in madrasa. We said, do different marja cause disunity? Because they have different fatwa. Said no, it causes unity. Because at the end of the day, their goal is one. If you have multiple maraja, just because they have different fatwa does not mean they are not aligned in their thinking. That is one side. Now imagine you have a better scenario, where the imam, when we have different madahib, their thoughts and aqaid are not aligned, unlike our maraja. They are different. Sunni, Shia, Hanafi, Salafi, different people. What if we have one person whom if you follow, like one marja, you have follow, then everyone aligns under him. That is unity. So Ghadir was a moment in history where the Muslims had to unite and follow one person. But unfortunately, they did not follow the person, and that's where the disunity happened. And that's one of the important benefits of having an imam. We have a hadith, and of course, the Khushali is going to come. It's a very appropriate hadith from the 8th Imam, Imam Ali Rida alayhi salatu wa salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. He mentions multiple characteristics of the imam, and inshallah we'll try to find some of them in the life of Imam Ali alayhi salam. For example, he mentions that he is a support for the Muslims and the believers, and that he has the same status as that of the Prophet. The Imam has the same status as the Prophet. In fact, he also says the Imam is the one who inherits all the characteristics of the Prophets. So if Nabi Yunus alayhi salam could do such a thing, Imam can do the same. If Nabi Dawood alayhi salam, Nabi Sulaiman alayhi salam can talk to the animals, then Imam can also talk to the animals. If the Prophet, we say the same status, if the Prophet is there to establish, for example, the political government in Medina, then Imam alayhi salam also has to establish the political government in Medina. Because they are the inheritors of the prophets, especially the last prophet. That is why we call it Imama, being the same level as that of the Holy Prophet. Because they are the successors of the Holy Prophet. They don't have a different position. We don't say Imamat is higher than the Holy Prophet. They are successors. Obviously, whatever is with the Prophet continues in the line of Imamat. He is the one. Now, interesting, this part, some of the characteristics are political, they are governmental. Imam is the one who amplifies and increases the public wealth. That means they have the role, if they become the Imam, they have to increase the people's wealth. This is not only guidance and Quran and Hadith, no, this is now politics. This is now economics. This is now social welfare. Imam has to increase their income. And also, If there is a munafiq, if there is a kafir, should the Imam just guide people that how they should fight? No. He is the one, Imam alayhi salam, who will destroy the munafiqeen and the kafirin. That's why the 12th Imam was going to establish the best government on earth. He's going to come and destroy the kafirin, the munafiqeen, and will have the government of Allah of Tawheed. This is all political agenda, besides the spiritual and guidance and Quran and Hadith all put together in one package, the role of the Imam. So Imam Khomeini then mentions that there are 4 periods of Imamah generally, and then he also subdivides these generations. He said the first generation, after of course the Holy Prophet, was the silence. For 25 years, Imam Ali alayhi salam, a young man, had to keep quiet. That was a long-term objective. As we mentioned, the government sometimes the longer-term objective, sometimes the short-term objective. Because he had to step back, and we will see, he had to step back because the evil powers, if he did not step back, would have taken advantage and destroyed and created disunity. That was silence. Second part was from the time when Imam Ali alayhi salam became Khalifa up to the time of Imam Hassan alayhi salam, when he was Khalifa. Imam Khomeini says this is the example and the model government that we were looking for. Imam Ali being the Khalifa, Imam Hassan alayhi salam being the Khalifa. This was what they wanted to establish till the end of time, but then they were not allowed. The third term and the era was a short-term objective, starting from the Sulh with Muawiyah, Lanatullah alayhi, up to the time of Karbala, the short-term objective. That was the time now they were gathering their people, their Shias, underground movement, Tashayyu. They have to gather them because they have to fight against the evil ruler. That's the short-term objective. The long-term objective, which was the 4th one, which is happening until now, is the revolution, Nahzat Alawi, whereby now slowly by slowly, each Imam, starting from the 4th Imam up to the 11th Imam, and now the followers are being trained, are being gathered, are being told what is their role against the oppressive government. What is the fact, how can they make themselves better so that the Islamic government can be established? You need leaders in the government. How can they make themselves leaders? This is the time from the 4th Imam to the 11th Imam and of course the 12th Imam. These are the 4 periods. So we'll talk about the period of Imam Ali alayhi salam. Recite a salawat before we begin. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. As we mentioned, he was the one who is the support for the mu'mineen and the believers. I thought in this part it was very interesting. If you just look at the khutbahs and the letters and the sayings of Imam Ali alayhi salam, that is enough to understand who he is and what he did for the ummah as a political leader in that time. Even when he was silent, he was moving the government of Allah forward. After the selection of Uthman in Shura, when the 6 people sat together, one of them being Imam Ali alayhi salam, they sat together, and when finally Abdul Rahman made the final decision that the next successor after Umar will be Uthman, Imam Ali alayhi salam made a statement. In Nahj al-Balagha, only a small portion has been brought in for the sake of the eloquence in this statement. He mentioned a very interesting statement. Look at what he says. He says, لَقَدْ عَلِمْتُمْ أَنِّي أَحَقُّ بِهَا مِنْ غَيْرِي. You know, he's telling the people who are there, you know I was more rightful than anyone other than me. I'm the best, you know it. وَوَاللَّهِ لَأَسْلِمَنَّ مَا سَلِمَتْ أُمُورُ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. But I will submit, I will observe peace for as long as the affairs of the Muslimin are going to be at peace. I'm going to sacrifice for the Ummah, although my right is going to be taken. This is the part about the Madlubiyat of Imam Ali alayhi salam. وَلَمْ يَكُنْ فِيهَا جَوْرٌ. And there is not going to be any oppression because of this decision of mine, except some people, one person will face jawr and zulm. إِلَّا عَلَيَّ خَاصَّةً. Except the fact that only upon me zulm will happen. But because the ummah is going to be saved, I'm going to accept that zulm. إِلْتِمَاسًا لِأَجْرِ ذَلِكَ بِفَضْلِ. Why? Why will I accept? Because I am expecting the reward from Allah and the fadl of Allah. That is why I'm going to accept this zulm upon me. وَزُهْدًا فِيهَا. And because I don't want to get attracted to this dunya, and I don't really care for the dunya. تَنَافَسْتُمُوهُ مِنْ زُخْرُفِهِ وَزِبْرِهِ. There is glittering and adornments and shining. You keep it yourself. I will accept to keep quiet. You take the khilafat, although you know I'm better. I will accept that one. Imam Khomeini, at the end of this chapter, he mentions Imam Ali had three characteristics. Number one was he was oppressed, Mazlum. Second, he was Muqtadir. He had iqtidar, power. On the battlefield, no one could stand against him. Everybody ran away. And number three, the victor. I would like to give this man a title. He is the oppressed victor. He was oppressed, but still he won at the end. This was the man. So what did he do in this time period when he's under the khilafat of someone else? If you remember, after the time of the Holy Prophet, because towards the end of the life of the Holy Prophet, many of the Muslims who became Muslims at that time didn't really want to become Muslim. They were forced in a way. They call this period Radda. People became murtad. They turned away from religion. They didn't accept Islam anymore because out of fear of the Holy Prophet, they stopped believing in Islam. They accepted Islam. But when the Prophet passed away, they turned back and they became murtad. And they didn't give the zakat to Abu Bakr, first Khalifa. Don't accept Islam anymore. In this time period, he decided, Imam Ali, rather than fighting, he should keep quiet. People came and approached him, be our Khalifa, be our Khalifa. After Uthman, people came to him and told him, you be the Khalifa now, after him. In fact, when Uthman was killed, people blamed Imam Ali alayhi salam. You are the one who caused the death of Uthman. You are the one who plotted against him. In fact, Imam Ali alayhi salam sent the second Imam and the third Imam alayhi salam to save Uthman from getting killed. Surprising. One of the reasons given is because if he did not do that and he tried it, because of the killing of Uthman by the people, a revolution can happen. You can overthrow the Khalifa and kill him and no one can say anything. This will become a trend now. Any Khalifa that comes, if you don't like him, go to his house, kill him and let's bring the next Khalifa. It's a dangerous game now. The Imam had to stop this from becoming normalized. And that's where he makes his statement when they approach him. He says, Da'uni wal tamisu ghayri. Leave me alone about this Khilafat issue. Don't choose me. Choose someone else. فَإِنَّا مُسْتَقْبِلُونَ أَمْرًا لَهُ وُجُوهٌ وَأَلْوَانٌ. We are going to face a situation that has different faces, different colors. It's a bit weird, it's a bit strange. We don't know how it's going to be. لَا تَقُومُ لَهُ الْقُلُوبُ. In this stage, even the hearts cannot take it. It's very difficult. وَلَا تَثْبُتُ عَلَيْهِ الْعُقُولُ. Even the minds cannot handle it. There's no subut, there's no firmness. It shakes at this time. It's a very difficult time after Uthman. وَالْمَحَجَّةَ قَدْ تَنَكَّرَتْ. Even the path to lead towards our God have become changed, distorted. We don't know what is going to happen now. After Uthman's death, if the Khalifa can be killed so easily, what's going to happen? We don't know. But if you people want me to be the Khalifa, this is what the Imam says. وَعْلَمُوا أَنِّي إِنْ أَجَبْتُكُمْ رَكِبْتُ بِكُمْ مَا أَعْلَمُ. If you choose me and you answer to me and make me the Khalifa, I will rule over you not the way you want it. I will rule over you the way I know, the way Allah wants, not the way you want. وَلَمْ أَسْقِ إِلَىٰ قَوْلِ الْقَائِلِ وَعْتْبِ الْعَاتْبِ. If you read in the note, but the same concept. If somebody comes and tells me, Ya Ali, we want this, why did you do like this? This is the wrong thing you did, this is reproach. Not, Imam Ali will say, no, I will not care about what you say. What I know of the religion, I will apply. That is the law of Allah. And I will not care about lawmatul la'im. Any lawm person comes and tells me, you did this, I will not care. I will follow the law of Allah. And if you leave me, وَإِن تَرَكْتُمْونِي فَأَنَا أَحْدِكُمْ. If you leave me and tell me, no, Ali, we don't want you as the leader, then I will leave you. And I'll be like you, living as a citizen among you. وَلَعَلِّي أَسْمَعُكُمْ وَأَطِيعُكُمْ لِمَنْ وَلَّيْتُمُوهُ. I will also follow the leader that you have placed. And I will follow him in the cases where it's acceptable. So leave me alone if you don't want to follow my justice. But if you want to follow my justice, then be prepared to act the way I want you to act, not the way you want me to act. And that is where he became the Khalifa. And there were people who did not want to give him bay'ah. One of the main reasons was wealth. Because when Umar took over many places, money in the Islamic Empire increased. Uthman became rich, the people around him became rich. There were gold bars, multiple stocks of gold in their treasury because they became very rich. They took over Iran. Rich people now. People like Ibn Umar and Ibn Abi Waqqas come to Medina, they don't accept Imam Ali as the Khalifa. And if you know these other people were enemies of Imam Ali alayhi salam. Talha, Zubair, they come. They were the ones who fought for Islam. They were special, so they should get more money. They took part in the victories. That's how the money came into Islam. Imam Ali said, no, you get the same share as you deserve, not more. And that's when the fight went back to Imam Ali alayhi salam. They also revolted. Imam Ali alayhi salam says, in these matters, don't scare me. I will act upon what I know. Don't scare me with your threats that you will leave me and fight against me. In fact, if you have stolen money, very famous dialogue, I'm sure we have heard about it. Wallahi, law wajadtuhu qad tuzawwija bihi nisa. If by this money you have married some women, wa mulika bihi al-ama, and you have taken in slaves, female slaves. This money is not yours. That means the transaction was false, the nikah was false. La radattuhu, I will return it back to the Baytul Mal. I will not care what you do to me then, I'll return it. فَإِنِّي فِي الْأَرْضِ. This is a very interesting statement. This, I believe, should be written in gold for people who want to fight against justice. فَإِنِّي فِي الْعَدْلِ سَعَةٍ. I feel, Imam Ali alayhi salam, I know that in adala, in justice, there is more room, there is more sa'ah, there is more value. Some people will say, no, adala, if you want to do adala, then you have to be very restricted, you have to follow a certain path. It's no vastness, there is no room for movement, you have to be very firm. He's saying, وَمَنْ ضَاقَ عَلَيْهِ الْأَدْلِ. If you feel with adala, you are going to be very constrained, you don't have much room to maneuver, you have to follow rules. فَالْجَوْرُ عَلَيْهِ أَضْيَقُ. When zulm comes, you will feel more straightened, more reduced, more weakened, more limited. Today, if you see people, if they say, why is, for example, certain government, example Iran, why is it establishing hijab? It's too many rules. Then they want what? The dhulm to come in. When the dhulm will come in, they will realize now their life is even worse. Adl might look very difficult, but more better, more worse than adl is good. It's more restrictive, it's worse. And that's where many of the people who are the companions, example Najashi, a companion, he drank wine. Imam Ali alayhi salam administered the punishment upon him of wine, being stroked. People come and tell him that don't strike him, he's your poet, he's on your side. If you strike him, he's going to go to Muawiyah. Did not care. I'm going to act upon Allah, even if I need to lose my companion. Zubair, Talha, Zubair, you are there defending me when the incident of the door happened. If you tell me like this, go away, I don't need you. All this in summary. Why? If you want a political leader today, if Iran has a political leader and he wants to establish his justice, how can he reach this level? It's because of spirituality. It's because of the connection to God. It's because the dunya does not affect you. I'll end with this. There is a companion of the Imam alayhi salam, Ibn Hamza. Muawiyah calls for him. And he asks him, who is Imam Ali? Who is Amir al-Mu'mineen? Can you explain him to me? So Ibn Hamza did not want to explain. Probably Muawiyah's goal was to find out about Imam Ali, how we can play with him, just to recognize your so-called enemy. Ibn Hamza said, I don't want to mention anything, please excuse me. But Muawiyah forces him. He starts praising Imam Ali alayhi salam in this word. Very famous word, we have heard about it. I think it's very beautiful if you remember this. This is the secret of why Imam Ali could establish such a justice. He says, in the middle of the night, I saw him shaking like the shaking of a snake. Like a person who is grieved, who is weeping, who is crying. What has happened to you, Ya Ali, in the middle of the night? It's my advice. I feel it's very nice advice for those who are reciting night prayers and al-shab. Besides the dua, besides the namaz, read these lines. It will affect us, inshallah. What does he say? He's saying, I heard the Imam alayhi salam say like this. Ibn Hamza, the companion, is saying, Ya dunya, ilayki anni. Dunya, go away from me. Don't disturb me. Dunya. Abi ta'arrafti. Are you coming towards me, O dunya? You want to present yourself to me like a bride when they present themselves to na mahram. Am ilayya tashawwaqti. Do you have some kind of desire in Ali alayhi salam? Dunya. La hinuka. What is this plot you are plotting against me? It's nothing. It's nothing against me. I am Ali. I don't get amused by you. And the famous line that you all know. Gurri ghayri. If you want to deceive somebody, go somewhere else. Ali will not get deceived by you. He will act with Allah. La hajata li fika. I don't even need you anymore. In fact, قد طلقتك ثلاثة لا رجعة فيها. I have divorced you thrice. Now there is no one coming back to you. So don't even come to me. فَعِيشُكَ قَصِيرٌ. Why? Because living in your dunya is very little. A few years, 80, 90 years, it's over. وَخَطَرُكَ يَسِيرٌ. Your importance is very little. What can I benefit from your dunya? This is Ali alayhi salam in the middle of the night. In the day, he is establishing justice because at night he has put his belief strong. I don't need to get fooled by dunya. وَعَمَلُكَ حَقِيرٌ. If someone wants you, it's very lowly. You are following the dunya, you are here. You are following dunya, dani, lowly place. Min qillat al-zad. Imam Ali alayhi salam says, my things, my paraphernalia, my items that I'm going to have is very less. I need to work for it. I have to stay up in the middle of the night. One of the companions sees Imam Ali after so many judgments in the day, he sleeps for half an hour, he wakes up. Imam Ali, why are you waking up? Are you not tired? Yes. But I have not sent anything for the akhirah this time. I need to wake up. I cannot sleep. Min qillat al-zad wa tul al-tariq. If I had a few things and the path was very easy, then no problem. But the path to akhirah is very long. I have to answer so many stations. Wa bu'd al-safar. It's a very far place. When will we reach? When will we go? Wa adhim al-mawrid. It's a very big place. It's a very important place. Dunya gurri ghayri. I have no importance. Shall we pray to Allah to get the tawfiq to be inspired by Imam Ali alayhi salam and to follow on his footsteps and to have leaders today in this time who will follow the footsteps of Ali alayhi salam. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ali tayyibin at-tahirin. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.